The views and opinions expressed in the Golden Boot podcast are those of the speaker and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of the Golden Boot podcast as a whole.
Y'all ready to get rolling? Quiet on the set. I'm on mute. Welcome back. Another hot episode of Golden Boot. It's your boy Pooh Bear. I know I'm tripping. I ain't even hit the start on Instagram. By the way, we are live on Instagram as well. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. But now there we go. We are live everywhere. Glad to be back. Do another show, another episode. What's good with you, my boy?
Man, it's been a weekend, hasn't it? Well, a week really, but
Yep. We be talking all the time. We say life be lifing. Life come at you fast.
yeah.
If you're a Cowboys fan, you in my thoughts and prayers.
Nah, you're not in mine because y'all blew my parlay.
Oh man. If you are a Cleveland fan,
Used to.
you got to be more careful.
If you're a Cleveland fan, you're used to it.
Oh man. Somebody, what's your dude be doing the like he the coach and be in the room talking to the players?
Oh yeah.
he said talking about Flacco. He said pick six like Cleveland did when he left this raggedy town. Oh man, bro, I was rolling. If you're a Detroit fan,
looking good right now.
Don't blow it. That's all I'm gonna say. Don't blow it, please. Don't blow it. But man, y'all know what it is. Glad to be back. Shout out to everybody in the chats. You could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with us. We appreciate that. Shout out to my man Dave. He said, "How about them Cowboys?" Somebody said Jerry Jones ain't been this mad.
Chill out, bro.
Since that girl tried to go to his school, that's all I'm gonna say. Said he ain't been mad since they started walking his house. Hey, where did naysayer come from? Oh man. Shout out to one of the hottest recruits in the country, Ryan Kanega. Anyway, man.
Man. Bro.
Oh man, Nick,
that dude is we're not talking about that on this show. We're not.
I'm just saying he can hoop too. What up, Nick? Our cousin. Simp in the building. What's good? What up, Taraj? Yeah, it is, man. Happy New Year to you. But man, oh man, big shout out to our guy Renard, man. He's dealing with some things right now, man. But shout out to Renard from Down South Football, man. You and our prayers, thinking about you. But y'all know what it is. Get ready to give a shout out to our sponsors. Man, y'all do us a favor, man. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, donate. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's a donate or follow, Snapchat, not Snapchat, Cash App, Super Chat, Facebook stars, whatever, man. We appreciate all that. We do, really do. Paul Sub say Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones, ex Green Bay Packers. Yeah. Yep. We them boys. Yeah, they something. You know what, Chance? We're gonna talk about that. We are going to talk about that. Yeah. What up, Horace? Horace said, do the Cowboys fight McCarthy? I don't know if he meant fire or fight him. Either way, they might
do both.
Might need to do both of them. Yeah. He might need to catch them hands. That'd be the first time Dallas caught anything if they do. But anyway, let's go and give a shout out to our sponsors over at BetOnline. BetOnline.ag, we will be back in 1 minute.
BetOnline.ag is your number one source for all your sports information, stats, news, and scores. Get the latest odds, lines, and player injury reports for this year's NBA and NHL playoffs. BetOnline is always your sports information headquarters. This season, we have you covered for all your sports wagering needs. We have everything from NBA, NFL, MLB, and NHL to golf, tennis, UFC, and boxing. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to get your betting info, including live betting options and your favorite casino and card games that you can play right from your home. Head on over to betonline.ag today or use your mobile device to get in on the action. Be sure to use the promo code BLEAV to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, where the game starts.
And we are back. We talking about this NFL. You want to stay at the NFL? Or we want to talk about LSU real quick. Go to the college game.
We can stay where we at real quick.
All right. NFL Wildcard Weekend. We talked about it. First of all, things got shook up real big with this weather.
That's so stupid, man. Moving the game so stupid. I mean, Buffalo Stadium outside, they play in these conditions all the time, bro. Maybe not as drastic, but it ain't the first time we've seen crazy amounts of snow at a game, bro. Like, it's stupid to me, bro.
They play outside. First of all, I'm gonna tell you what's stupid. Buffalo built a new stadium, but they did not make it a dome. That was stupid.
I thought they building a new stadium now.
Oh, are they building it? Okay, they built it, but it's not a dome.
It's not a dome, but it's got a roof.
Either way, I agree with you on they do play outside all the time. What's good, Nord? Say he ain't getting in there. All right, that's what's up. They do play outside all the time. This is a different set of circumstances, in my opinion.
So why not move the Kansas City game? That was a different set of circumstances.
It wasn't snowing like that in Kansas City.
It was -24 though. That's different.
It wasn't snow. No. So
it's a different circumstance. If at what point does the different circumstance change when you determine to move a game?
Did you see Buffalo?
Yeah, I saw it.
You cannot even see. That's when if it was just snowing and cold, they played the game. But it was literally you cannot see. That's where I think that's why the game got moved. You can't see. It's like if it, for instance, high school football. If it's raining,
high school football though, bro.
Just hear me out. If it's high school, if it's raining, we playing the game, right? Don't matter. If it's raining to a point where you can't see, they move the game, they stop the game, or something like that. It's I've seen that happen where they delay the game or something. If it's to a point where it becomes, as Miss, well, she says, all dangerous to me.
I was just about to say that frozen field,
and I agree,
was dangerous.
Yeah,
that frozen field in Kansas City was just as dangerous. So at what point do you say it's dangerous or it's extenuating circumstances? Because Kansas City was different circumstances than normal yesterday in Kansas City, and they ain't moved that one.
Yeah.
If you gonna move one, move both.
I feel, and I could be wrong, the situation was because of vision. It's snowing, and it probably, ironically, it may have been a little bit warmer in Buffalo. I'm not completely. I don't know what the temperature was, but you can't, but you couldn't see. So that's the only reason why I think the extreme cold in Kansas City. That was wild, absolutely wild to me. But hey, that's all.
My thing is, they ain't no reason to move one and not the other.
Chuck talked about Andy Reid mustache. It was froze.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, it's that cold. Like, there was people who have water bottles. As soon as they take it out the refrigerator, the water bottle freeze instantly, bro. Like, that ain't.
Which is wow in itself. It's wow. So we had the weather issue. In Houston, Cleveland wished they had delayed that game. And delayed it to a time where Deshaun Watson was actually healthy. Because they couldn't do anything. Yeah.
Their defense was the problem, bro. Their defense gave up 24 points. I mean, like, whenever you, and maybe more than that, whenever you look at their defense at home and on the road, I said it on the radio Friday, they've given up at least 20 points on the road in every game that they've been in. So I knew Houston was going to be able to score points. And whenever you look at with Flacco being quarterback, he's turned the ball over a lot. So I knew that he was going to end up turning the ball over at some point, and Houston was going to be able to score points. That's a recipe for disaster if you Cleveland.
Yeah. Rams just scored on another long touchdown pass. Detroit defense better step up.
That's been their problem all year.
Which is so ironic. So ironic. Their defense was so good last year. The Kansas City game. Outside of the weather, were you surprised with the result?
No, because I knew Miami wasn't going to be able to do what they normally do because it's so cold, bro. Miami ain't used to being in any cold, much less that cold weather.
Yeah. I looked at somebody posted Tua's record in the cold weather, like anything 45 below. He's like 0-4, 0-5 now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it.
You could tell.
I don't think it matters.
You could tell though, like some of them throws that they normally make look so smooth and easy. Those little, swing passes to the running backs, those little screen passes.
Yeah,
he was off on them, and then once they realized that Tua was rattled, they just started sending pressure at him, and it looked like he couldn't read defenses. He just looked like Miss Nikki said. He just looked confused out there yesterday.
Yeah. They were manhandling Tyreek Hill too at the line.
I don't think he's fully healthy. Because you remember that video whenever his house was on fire, he had an ankle boot. He had a boot on his ankle.
I didn't see that video.
Yeah, so I think he wasn't all the way. I mean, he still had their only touchdown on the big play. I mean, I just think they didn't get him involved enough. But at the same time, I mean, that field being froze like that kind of mitigates that speed of Miami. So, I mean, they wasn't able to do what they normally do.
Yeah. I don't know who. Well, I guess we still got to wait for results to see who they play next. But I don't think Kansas City make it out of the next round, depending on who they play.
I think they would beat. Well, now they'd have to play Houston if Pittsburgh win. Yeah, I don't know. They got to play Buffalo most likely. That'll be a good matchup.
I don't think they make it. I personally don't think they make it.
They looked better offensively yesterday than I've seen them look in a while, though.
Yeah. Dallas. I know we've been talking about it.
I don't even want to talk about that.
Today.
I just want to know this. I just want to know this. Do people still think Cam Newton was crazy?
That was my next question. Do we need to revisit this Cam Newton? What Cam Newton said? That was my next question. Cam Newton, for those of you who don't know, Cam Newton came out and said that he listed Dak, Tua, Jared Goff, and who was it? Brock Purdy. He said that they were game managers and not game changers. And he said that there's a negative connotation on game when you say game manager. He said as a game manager, you're out there, you're not really how I forget exactly how he said it, but he basically said that he was giving them props, but he said nobody's out there saying, hey, we need the next Dak Prescott, we need the next Jared Goff, we need the next Tua Tagovailoa. Nobody's saying that. Nobody's saying we need the next Brock Purdy. I'm gonna say it. You've said it before. I'm gonna say Brock Purdy looks good, but every quarterback looks good in that Shanahan system.
Yep.
So
he look good in that system. I mean, we've seen Nick Mullins, CJ Beathard, Jimmy G. We've seen everybody pretty much look good in that system.
Yeah. So I just can't. Matt. I give him Matt Ryan was although he's an MVP.
I mean, Matt Ryan got to the Super Bowl and won the MVP in that system.
That's all. I was saying. I give him. He's probably the best one of the best quarterback Shanahan has had. I'm trying to think who all has he had. He is the best quarterback that Shanahan has had.
He said Trey Lance didn't. I feel like Trey
Lance ain't get that much.
He didn't really get a chance in that
system. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. This guy is so hilarious. What's up, Blake?
What's good, bro?
Yeah, Trey Lance. I don't think he had no time to look good.
And to be fair, I mean, Trey Lance only had 1 year of starts.
Did he have? Oh yeah. I was gonna say, did he have 1 year?
I'm talking about before when he was drafted. So I mean, that's. Even if you miss on one, I mean, it's still a pretty good success rate.
Yeah. Back to the Cam Newton though, the whole situation with that. Who was it? Is it First Take that went at him?
Mm-hmm.
I forget the lady's
Kimberly
name.
Martin.
There you go. Kimberly Martin went at him, was talking about him the year backups. Nobody's looking for Cam Newton and stuff like. I do want to say this because I was thinking about that. Say, you know what? That's true. The reason why Cam Newton, first of all, Cam Newton hadn't been the same since he had that car accident right before the Super Bowl when he hurt his back. He has not been the same since then. Second to that, nobody's going to add Cam Newton to their roster because he's going to be a bigger name than the whatever starting quarterback, or he's going to be a
distraction.
A distraction. Nobody's going to add that to their roster. That's why the Patriots let him go, because they said, hey, even if we move on and you're a great teammate, it's going to be hard for look at this. Mac Jones is having problems with
Bailey Zappi
as his back. Bailey Zappi as his backup. So imagine if Cam Newton was that guy. So yeah,
that's part of it, I think. And I think at the same time, I think Cam Newton, I think he would rather, do what he's doing now than just be a backup and hold the clipboard for somebody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I think part of it is he went out on his terms instead of kind of being forced out of the league in a way. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Chance says, "Where's Trey Lance now?" He's at home because he's a backup on the Dallas Cowboys. So he's at home. He'll be at home all the rest of these playoffs. He don't have to hold a clipboard no more. He can now hold a remote. But yeah, a lot of people owe him an apology. They talk bad about Cam. Oh my goodness. Robert Griffin says Dallas needs to fire McCarthy and hire Prime. You know something funny? And we can use this as a pivot. My mama talked about it with the with the Nick Saban return, and people talking about hiring they need a good coach like Prime. Said Prime, bring Deion. And my mama said he ain't even a good coach where he at. What make you think he's gonna be a good coach at Alabama? My mama said that. I was so proud of her. I love you, mama. I don't know if she's watching. I was so proud of her. But speaking of that, Alabama brings in their new coach, Kalen DeBoer.
damn good hire.
Yeah. Head coach or former head coach of the Washington Huskies. Fresh off a national championship appearance. Fell short to Michigan.
That's a good hire, man. I mean, X's and O's wise, it's a good hire. The dude's won everywhere he's went, everywhere he's been. He's I mean, look at what he did at Washington. He won 25 straight games at Washington, lost 3 games there. I mean, he's what 10.
Well, I'm looking it up now to figure out. He's like 102 and like
104 and 16, I think, something like that.
104 and 12.
12, okay, 104 and 12 in his career, man.
12.
Like, that's ridiculous whenever you think about it. And I know he's took Washington to the national championship game with less than elite recruiting classes. You know what I mean? So he did more or less. Josh Pate came out and said, "You've seen what he's been able to do with the second best team on the field most of the time. What happens whenever he has the best team on the field?"
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I feel like X's and O's wise, it's a damn good hire. My biggest question about him is, will he be able to recruit? He's never been in the South before. He's a northern guy from like South Dakota or somewhere, and he's been on the West Coast. So what will it be like whenever he has to go against Georgia, against LSU, against Texas, against, you know what I'm saying, some of these schools in recruiting battles? That would be my biggest question. But X's and O's wise, they got a damn good hire. And honestly, it's kind of worries me what happens if he does get the recruiting part down.
Yeah. So those of you wondering, that 104 and 12, that is a 89.7% winning rate.
Ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Yeah. He's been coaching since 97. Everywhere. Began as a head coach in 2005. He was a head coach at Sioux Falls, and then he was an offensive coordinator at Southern Illinois, offensive coordinator and wide receiver coach. Then he was an offensive coordinator and quarterback coach at Eastern Michigan. He was offensive coordinator and quarterback coach at Fresno State. He was the offensive coordinator and quarterback coach at Indiana. And then he was the head man at Fresno State, head man at Washington, and now he's at Alabama. 3 NAIA championships.
Yep. And Paul Hub says DeBoer has won, but no longevity or sustained success at the FBS level. He's also had Penix 3 of last 5 seasons. He has some uncertainties that are being overlooked. Well, I agree with that. He has some uncertainties. I mean, he had success Fresno State and success at Washington. It might not have been longevity, but it was success. And he had Penix 3 of the last 3 years or whatever. Okay,
3
cool.
of the last 5, yeah.
What was Michael Penix before Kalen DeBoer got him in Washington? I mean, he was decent at Indiana, but nobody was talking about Penix being an NFL quarterback at Indiana. So I would say that he kind of developed those guys.
That's fair. That's fair. I think it's a really good hire. I don't know how worried I am about it yet. I know he's going to be a great coach. I know he's done well everywhere he's been. It was going to be interesting to me if he had stayed at Washington. It was going to be interesting to me to see how he held on going into the Big Ten. I was looking forward to that. Now he's coming to the SEC. That's another big one. He's going to be able to get talent at Alabama. My question is, well, I'm not going to say my question. The one thing that I think helps in this situation, at least put me at ease, he doesn't have 5 or 6 rings to flash in front of kids to lure them out of your state to say, hey, this is what I can give you. He can talk about the tradition of Alabama. He can talk about what's done before, but he can't say he can even talk about, his accomplishments, but he can't flash rings in front of you and tell you, hey, this is what I'm going to do. At least the first 2-3 years.
I mean, other than Dabo, whose name that was considered would have been able to say that?
He couldn't say it as a head coach, but I was worried about Lane.
Lane, what ring Lane got?
Lane got it as an OC, doesn't it?
Lane got fired before the national championship game.
Oh, that's true. You're right. He did. And they lost. Sarkisian went in there.
I mean, Lane probably got one as an OC in one of his years at Bama, but I mean, Lane ain't got one as a head coach.
No, he didn't.
DeBoer's done more. DeBoer done more as a head
2015.
Coach.
Okay.
2015. Okay, so he do got one. DeBoer done more as a head coach than Lane.
DeBoer, that's true.
Won national championship at NAIA.
That's true. Here's the thing. We know Lane can play, and we know Lane can coach in the SEC. We know what he can do, what he's done at Ole Miss, and you've talked about it when he's had to. The reason why he's not done as well at Ole Miss is because he can't recruit high school.
That's fair, but I'm just saying, as far as being able to flash rings, Lane can't do that neither. So that's what Dabo would have been the only coach that would have been able to go to somebody's living room and flash rings. I don't know I don't know if he was really even ever considered for the job. So that's
I don't think he was.
Out of the ones who was considered, the Dan Lanning, the Norvells, the DeBoers of the world, none of them would have been able to go flash rings. So whoever they would have hired would have been in the same position as DeBoer. Ain't nobody gonna be Saban. We all know that.
Which is why I do have some, I guess you can say, peace of heart, peace of mind. In that sense,
I mean, yeah, ain't nobody gonna be Saban. We all knew that. So I mean, I'm just looking at it as like Saban's still gonna be around. The man got an office in the stadium. Whenever the recruits come to visit, they still gonna see them rings. You know what I'm saying? The only difference is the rings ain't going to visit in people's living rooms no more. They got to go to Tuscaloosa to see them. So that's still gonna be a factor that you got to worry about. It's just not going.
The rings ain't coaching you.
I mean, that's true, but at the same time,
when it comes down to, I don't. And here's. This was my ultimate
thing. He can still say them rings are around the program. Those rings still gonna be able to say you need to do this, you need to do that. When other programs can't say that,
and that's great. Here's my ultimate point: when the bullets are flying in this fourth quarter, and you're down 6, 7. Matter of fact, I'm gonna give you an Alabama situation. You're down 10 in the fourth quarter. I'm not saying DeBoer is going to panic, but I know he might not necessarily be as cool, calm, and collect as Saban was. He didn't necessarily have nobody has, and that's my point. And that's my whole point. I think
so you saying you're not worried because you're not Saban.
Pretty much. Then
you wouldn't have been worried about anybody they hired.
No, I think Lane present.
Lane not Saban.
He's not. Let me finish, bro. Let me finish. Hold on. Let me land. Lane scared me in the fact that I've seen what he can do with what he has. He's not Saban. I think he still would have messed up, but I think he would have created more problems.
I don't know, bro. I mean, we're still looking at a coach who just was in a national championship game, bro.
I know, and I agree. He's still
he's done more as a head coach than Lane Kiffin.
Yeah, and you're right. You're right.
So I mean, like if we wanna say Lane like we've seen Lane do less with less talent. We've seen Kalen DeBoer make it to the national championship with less talent.
I don't know if it's
he had less talent than the Oregon team he faced. He had less talent than the USC team he faced. He had less talent than the Texas team he faced. Yeah. And he beat all of them.
That's fair. That's fair.
So I'm just saying, like, we've seen him do it, and we've seen him do it on a big stage with less. We ain't seen Lane do it on the big stage. So if you worried about Lane, you should be worried about this guy too. The only difference is you can say you never seen him do it in the SEC. That's
okay.
The only difference.
Okay. All right. Okay. And I'll accept that because that was I don't know if you knew that was the next place I was going. So, because somebody said
if you worried about Sark coming in the SEC, he done beat Sark head to head twice.
So, and I get that. Sark, Texas and Oklahoma coming to the SEC. This is a conversation we'll talk about a lot more probably this summer before the season start. People was talking about Ryan from Chicago because people were talking about, St. Peter's in the national championship game. It was like, hey, this is the guy y'all wanted for Heisman. He was like, y'all clowning a team that's 14-0 and y'all 9-3. Yeah. If you move LSU or Ole Miss to the Pac-12, how many of those
is this year?
With our defense this year, we fit right in. We might be 13-1.
Nah.
Bruh. Why not? Okay. The highest rated passing defense over there.
You just going off passing defense.
Okay, highest rated defense is what? Oregon?
Probably Oregon, Utah, one of them. But LSU defense was terrible this year, bro.
And guess what? 3 or 4 of the other Pac-12 defense was right there. We was ahead of 3 or 4 of them.
Like who?
Colorado, Stanford,
the bottom teams in the Pac-12.
Washington State. And guess what?
My point, though, bro.
Guess what?
We had a defense
all those teams
in the Pac-12.
All those one of the worst teams. All those teams gave Washington fits. All those teams were in one-score game with Washington.
I mean, that's cool, but I'm not finna say we would have went 13-1 in the Pac-12 with our defense this year.
I'm saying it's possible.
Nah,
I'm saying
it would have looked like USC out there.
Very possible. USC was one of those teams that was in below us.
Yeah, we would have looked like them out there this year.
Better coaching. At least on the offensive side.
That's fair, but the defense looked just the same.
Better players.
On the defensive side?
No, I'm saying better play. Well, overall.
I mean, yeah.
I think we have more. I'm just saying. Great high for Alabama.
All I'm saying is people over here making it seem like just because dude never coached in the SEC, the LSU ain't got nothing to worry about. All I'm saying is the dude won everywhere he went. So you can say he ain't never done it in the SEC before, but when he started doing it in the SEC, then what people gonna say?
Same thing they said about Brian Kelly. He never did in the SEC. He's won everywhere, but he's not won the big game.
It's the same principle.
I know.
So if Brian Kelly, like that's what I'm saying. Like it's the same principle. We doing the same thing other people said when Brian Kelly.
No. Because I think here's the difference. I respect I guess you know what? That's fair. I'll give because I respect what Kalen DeBoer has done. I think he's an excellent coach. I think he can get it done in the SEC. I haven't seen, especially at Alabama. I haven't seen. I don't know what he's going to look like in a different conference, in a stronger conference.
That's the same thing people said about BK,
and that's true. But the different,
ain't no different. It's the same thing.
No,
he not following Nick Saban. That's the only difference, bro.
Yeah. One thing I didn't hear was is there a culture fit? I never heard anybody ask that.
I brought it up on the radio the other day, and people laughed at me. But it was brought up about BK, so why not bring it up about him? But the only reason it was brought up about BK is because he followed the only culture fit LSU ever really had in Ed Orgeron.
Which is very interesting. Speaking of, I guess culture fits and coaches and moving on, Jim Harbaugh is expected to meet with the Chargers. The Chargers are the first team to get in on the Jim Harbaugh sweepstakes. Meet with the Chargers soon.
I think that's the only NFL team he'll leave for.
He played for the Chargers too, didn't he?
I don't know.
No. He played for the Colts. Colts and the Bears.
Yeah.
Colts and the Bears. I don't know why I was thinking. Why you say that's the only one you think he'll leave for?
Because that's the only situation that's really where you can win. Like now.
I'm thinking. Atlanta.
Atlanta is close. They're a quarterback away.
And where they picking this year?
Top 10, but who you gonna get?
You will have several options.
No, you won't.
Why you won't?
Because the top 5 teams, 4 of them need a quarterback.
Do a trade. The Bears I'm willing to believe
even if you don't count the Bears, you still got the Commanders, you still got the Patriots, you still got one other team up there that need a quarterback. I can't think of it off the top of my head right now.
All right, so you got Phoenix, you got Caleb Williams.
Phoenix at number 8.
No, hear me out. You got Phoenix, you got Caleb Williams, you got Jaden Daniels, you got Bo Nix.
How many of them is you gonna draft at number 8?
How many you gonna draft? How many of them top 8 teams is gonna need a quarterback?
I just named some.
I know you. Okay, how many?
Bo Nix is not worth drafted at number 8. Michael Penix is not worth drafted at number 8. He's not. The man got 2 ACL injuries that career. I mean, season.
Drake May is the other one.
Okay, cool. So you got 3 quarterbacks that are worth drafted.
I guarantee you, Penix is going to go in that top 10.
No, he's not, bro.
Okay.
No, he's not. His age and his injury history is the reason he's not going to go in the top 10, bro. He like 24 years old already, and he's like Hendon Hooker.
That's different. I think that.
No, it's not. It's the same situation. The Hendon Hooker injury just happened then when it happened, but he got worse. He got 2 of Hendon Hooker type injuries. He only played 2 full seasons in his career.
Okay. I'm telling you, his name is up though.
It's not gonna happen, bro. Watch.
Okay. We'll see. But Jim Harbaugh. Speaking of that, I think it's been said, Antonio Pierce Look like the Chiefs. I'm not the Chiefs. Raiders gonna do the right thing, make him the head coach.
They should.
Yeah.
Gerard Mayo, the
Gerard,
yeah. I got a problem with that though.
Talk to him.
All right, so it was written in his contract that he would become the next head coach after Belichick.
Gotcha.
Okay. Whether right, wrong, or indifferent, they couldn't do that for every coach. Like Dennis Allen, for example, you couldn't have put it in his contract that he's gonna be the next head coach after Sean Payton, because you would have to interview a minority candidate before you could just get a job to Dennis Allen. But because Rod Mayo is a minority candidate, you don't have to interview anybody else.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Like that's kind of messed up to me. Like the way that they just
you're saying affirmative action?
It just gave him the job without giving it to anybody else. But if it would have been Dennis Allen was done the same way, it would have been a problem.
So I hear you and understand what you're saying. Let me ask you a question. With this running rule, does it even matter? Because they're not really giving coaches a shot.
Do away with the rule.
Okay, do away with it. They're not hiring.
But they are hiring black coaches. There's more black coaches in the NFL right now than in a minute.
Yeah, now
D'Amico Ryans, you got all these people that done got chances these past few years. They're hiring black people.
Okay. You still got things like Steve Wilkes. You still got guys like Airbnb. You still got
Airbnb messed himself over. But we'll talk about that.
You still got guys at Airbnb. You still got guys like Byron Leftwich. What's that?
Byron Leftwich shouldn't be a head coach.
You don't think he should even get an interview, get a shot?
But my whole point is he done had interviews.
Okay. And again,
I mean, look, you got black head coach at Tampa, you got black head coach in Houston. I mean, is Tomlin still a head coach? Like you got black head coaches. Black head coaches are getting chances, bro. There might not be enough of them. There might not be enough of them getting head coaches, but they are still getting chances. My thing is, if Dennis Allen, if it would have been a Dennis Allen contract that he would have been the next head coach after Sean Payton, we would have had a problem with that.
We're gonna have a problem with. I would have had a problem with it for different reasons, for several different reasons. But I understand what you're saying.
So why when the shoe on the other foot is it not a problem? That's all I'm saying.
I don't know. You make a good point. Dr. Umar will be emailing you after the show.
Edwin said, some of these black coaches getting chances because they gotta interview them for to acknowledge honor the Rooney Rule and end up finding out, oh dang, he a good candidate. I might need to hire him.
Steve Wilkes literally led the Carolina Panthers on a resurge. Never mind. I get
he finna get another head coaching job because of what he's doing as the DC.
We're about to have more black head coaches now. I agree. We're about to have a lot more now, but yeah, I don't think that running rule has been a sham for a long time.
I mean, I agree that they don't always. It was good intentions that they don't always. You know what I mean?
Because if that was the case,
the rule is good, but people find a way to make a mockery of it. Well, all I'm saying is,
you want to know a mockery? No, man. I ain't gonna go there.
All I'm saying is if the shoe would have been on the other foot, there would have been outrage. I feel like nobody's making a point of the fact that if the shoe was on the other foot, people would have said something about it. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I agree. With that being said, I understand what you're saying. It still brings me to. I still think about never mind. Because we talked about the runner rule and stuff like that. Because that's why we end up with Brian Flores end up with the lawsuit he has.
I mean, I'm not saying it's perfect by any means. You know what I mean? All I'm saying is with this hire, if it would have been a white guy who would have automatically got the job, we would have had a problem with it.
You know what? We would have had a problem with it. I agree. Let me say this. White guy, a lot of those, a lot of the coaches are automatically getting these jobs, but they don't necessarily have to put it in a contract too.
But that's my point. You can't prove that they was automatically given the job. You can prove that this guy was automatically given the job. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Like, what do you talking about these backdoor hand, like these under the table handshake agreements that I know happen? Cool. We can't prove that they happen. It's just like Alabama paying players. You can't prove it happened, but we all know it did. But it's different whenever it's the Will Wade situation and you got proof of it.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna move on for this to become.
They put it in black and white. They could have just gave the man the job and nobody would have said nothing. But y'all put it in black and white.
They also put it in. I think they also put it in black and white. Speed up the process of the something with the contract handling or something like that.
Hey, well, they was worried about him leaving last year to take the Panthers job, so they put it in his contract that he'd be the next head coach at the Belichick.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Good point, Edwin. Great point.
Let's see. What talking about if he don't win?
Mm-hmm.
So if he don't win, which it will be tough for him to do, the whites will be talking about how he got the job. You know, well, I mean,
yep,
I understand what he's saying. So it's gonna be. All right. Let's talk about LSU real quick before we get ready. No, we got to talk about LSU all the way from football to basketball. LSU adds Kevin Peoples to its defensive staff. We don't know. Well,
he gonna coach the edge. I'm
assuming. Edge and the. Yeah, he's coaching the. Golly, what in the world was that? He's gonna coach the edge and outside linebackers. I'm presuming. And then Bo Davis will be the interior lineman.
Yeah.
First off, when we got Bo, when they announced Bo Davis, I thought that this was over.
Me too.
But yeah, now with you adding this guy, this makes me think. You gotta take another spot away. So you either gonna have, and typically BK has always had two defensive, secondary, whether being a safety and a cornerback coach. So this makes me think: do they take away the tight end coach?
They could
and use the GA or the or what
the
analyst I should say,
yeah.
To coach that spot.
That's an interesting point. I didn't think about that, but I still think he goes with two DB coaches because he said he always prefers having two DBs, one for the corners and one for the safeties. So I think that would still be the plan as far as the DBs. But so the only other position that they would be able to pull from would be the tight ends.
Yeah. Because you're definitely not touching running back. It's presumed
wide receivers and nothing like that.
Yeah. Speaking of that, and King of South Cobb asked the question: what is up with the wait for a DB coach? What is taking so long to get a DB coach in? Let's talk about that. I think that they did go after T-Rob at Alabama and missed. People keep yelling Corey Raymond. let me. I want to say this. I'm not gonna argue. I've done my fair share arguing for. You know, what I'm saying. I mean, for against. You know, what I'm saying. Hey, I don't think. You know, what I'm saying. I'm not. You know, just move on. But here's my thing. Of all the coaches that they've hired so far on the defensive side, the target, all those guys who've been targeted have been employed somewhere else, actively employed. So they had to go in and pull them. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Buyouts and stuff like that. Corey Raymond is not currently employed. There is no holdup. If he is the guy, why is it not announced yet?
Well, I think this is just my opinion. I think that there was conversations had, and LSU might be interested if they miss on some guys they have maybe above him on their wish list, so to speak.
Everything I've heard, there have been no conversations yet. But people say that all the time.
Yeah.
So I do not know. If he is the guy, let's do it, announce it, move on. If he's not the guy, let's name the guy and move on. My thoughts, that guy is either still coaching in is coaching in the NFL in the playoffs. Some kind of contractual issue they're trying to work through. Or they reaching out to people and it's been swing and miss.
I'll say this: the guy that I would prefer LSU get, he's not coaching in the playoffs, but he is coaching in the NFL.
Yeah.
But his head coach was let go this week. So there might be some uncertainties around his current status as far as employment wise, and LSU could be doing their due diligence and reaching out and having those conversations with him.
In protocol to first of all speak with the head coach and request that, like, normally, because Edo got in trouble for that.
Yeah, and speak to, and there's no head coach right now, so you'd have to go to the general manager who's probably doing an active coaching search. So it's kind of some hoops you got to jump through before you're able to get some of that. But the guy I'm talking about is Carl Scott, by the way. The reason I would want Carl Scott is not only his track record of what he's done in the NFL and in college at Bama, Texas Tech, Louisiana Tech, and these other places, but the reason people want Corey Raymond partially is because of what he can do as a recruiter. Well, Carl Scott is just as elite as a recruiter as Corey Raymond. If you go to look at some of the guys he brought in whenever he was at Alabama, the Brockmire brothers, Drew Sander, Kool-Aid McKinstry, he helped bring Patrick Surtain, Jordan Battle. He stole JoJo Earl from us. You know what I'm saying? Some of these guys that he was able to bring in, Brian Branch, he's just as elite as a recruiter as Corey Raymond. And he's also worked with Blake Baker before when Blake Baker was a DC, not just when Blake Baker was a linebackers coach like Corey Raymond. So it's kind of a one-up on Corey Raymond in that sense. I worked with Blake Baker before, and I worked with him whenever he was a DC. So, I mean, there's familiarity there. He's got the pedigree. He's an elite recruiter. Give me Carl Scott.
Yeah. Who is CJ? PN I think it'll be CJ now that T. Ross.
I think he meant Chevis Jackson is.
Chevis. I wouldn't mind Chevis. I think Chevis paired with a good safety coach would be, you know what I'm saying, I think that would be good. My question is who? I originally said Terry Joseph.
That's a good one. I don't know. I feel like Texas is gonna put a full court press on them to keep from losing two of their coaches to LSU same offseason. Mine would be TJ Rushing, who is a DB coach at Texas A&M, who doesn't have a job right now. So there's no buyout or anything like that. And he's also a good recruiter. If you look at some of the guys, he's recruited Bryce Anderson, some of those other guys who he's also currently, well, he was the Texas A&M primary recruiter for Terry Bussey, the 5-star athlete who's still uncommitted and well, he's committed to Texas A&M still, but he's unsigned at the moment. So if you were able to bring TJ Rushing on staff, then you could possibly flip Terry Bussey, or that would be help in flipping Terry Bussey to LSU. So I think if you had a staff of Carl Scott and Rushing in your back end, you'll be not only good at you're not only good at recruiting, but you'll also be good at developing. Paul Sub says maybe Blake Baker coaches safeties like his time at Tech. When he was at Tech, he coached linebackers, but whenever he was at Missouri, he coached safety.
I was just gonna say Missouri. So that was I mentioned that before, and I think it was in a group chat or maybe on Blake's show. I'm not. I have no doubts in what he did at Missouri. I just don't know. I didn't follow them close enough to know how big of a jump the safeties may have made while he was there. But I do know the jump they made, the linebackers made at LSU in his 1 year here. So that's my argument for why I would want him to coach linebackers. If they feel like that may be the best bet, if you know what I'm saying, put him at, you know what I'm saying, safety, okay, let's do him at safety. Get Chevis, and people been saying move the Diaco to linebacker coach.
Yeah, I agree.
So
I would. You could also look at it like this. We talked about you bringing peoples in. You got to take a coach away somewhere, right? Well, if Blake Baker coach safeties, you keep Diaco on staff as an analyst, and he could coach linebackers, and then you could also bring in a tight ends coach. So, I mean, I think it's still all being worked out yet. I don't think they have a plan in place completely yet.
Yeah. Speaking of that, we got more pressing issues. Who will be your OC?
Tommy Reese.
Please don't.
I'm just playing.
Please don't. No, but that is I do think that is something that, you know that meme with a dude walking with his girl and he looked back at the other girl and I think that's BK walking with Sloan and Hankton and Tom Maurice free now. He like, that worries me. I do. Why I think Tommy Reese could serve in some capacity somewhere. Do not bring him on as your OC. I have not been impressed. Him play calling anywhere he's been. Anywhere. Last year, even with Bama, the resurgence of, or I say resurgence, with the quote unquote development that we saw with Jalen Milroe, it looked like it regressed in the last 2 games, maybe. At least in the bowl game.
No, he was good in this championship game.
Yeah, the bowl game, the
bowl game was the offensive line too, though. So it ain't put it all on Milroe.
Yeah, I ain't putting out, but either way, it just feels. So here's my. I've seen what Sloan has done in the middle of a season. I've seen what he's done through an off season with 2 quarterbacks. I don't see that necessarily with Reese.
I mean, I would agree that Sloan is better than Reese, but I'm just saying I'm not going to blame Reese for that championship.
No. I'm not. So I'm not blaming Reese for that. But what I'm saying is, we know a tree by the fruit it bears, and I feel like.
Would you not say Milroe improved as the season went on?
Yeah, he did. He did.
So does Reese not get the credit for that?
And I say I give him, you know what I'm saying, that he got better, but it feel like he kind of regressed at times too. I just don't think he was good in. Matter of fact, I give you the Auburn game. He looked terrible in the Auburn game to me. It's a rivalry game, but he looked terrible to me.
Yeah, I mean, you can't put all of that on Reese though.
I'm not putting it all on Reese, but
I think you got to get the fact that where he looked from the beginning of the season to the end of the season. I feel like you got to give Reese credit for that. And whenever he don't play good, you can't necessarily fault Reese.
Oh no, there's other factors. I just don't. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying I want Tommy Reese by any means. I just feel like he better than people give him credit for. But I'll say give me Sloan and Hankton all day before that.
Yeah. Nick says all he needed was Reese Notre Dame season after BK left.
That was
yeah. So that's my only thing. I think I don't know what the hold up with that is to say, you know what I'm saying, we elevating Sloan, Sloan and Hankton as OCs and go from there.
I wouldn't be surprised if Reese is on staff somewhere. I just don't know if it'll be as OC.
And that was my point. If he's on staff, okay. Because that one thing I will say, and because a lot of people, I don't want him here at all.
I take him as
if even if he came in to coach tight ends, I don't know. But seriously though, if he came to LSU in some capacity, that's another OC, somebody who has eyes and stuff. You know what I'm saying, who may be able to notice some things. Hey, I noticed this about this guy, or hey, I'm noticing these trends. Hey, you know, so I can see it. But whoever's the OC, they will have another weapon. As LSU adds Liberty wide receiver CJ Daniels. They had me at Daniels, so another Daniels coming to LSU. I'll take it.
Right. I mean, he is a solid receiver.
Over 1,000.
Yeah, I think when you look at the lack of experience in the receiving room, you don't really have, other than Lacey, anybody that's really been established, I would say, as a receiver. Xavier brings a little bit, but he's mostly a return guy. So,
and when you look at, he ran through him. And when you look at a lot of people's heartburn with Lacey, it's the drops.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I agree. Great pickup. Huge pickup. I think we're gonna be all right. On offense side, I ain't worried. Defensive side, give me two more D tackles. I don't want just D ends. I want some D tackles.
That would be nice.
Yeah. Quality, not necessarily quantity. Give me some quality, so I can add some quality depth. All right. Let's talk men's and women's basketball. Both fall in Auburn this weekend.
A lot of different expectations too. Well, a lot of different takeaways from their losses.
So let's talk about the men's first. Let's talk about the men. Prior to this, because we hadn't really talked about it. They are 2-0 in SEC. Oh yeah, they were 2-0 in SEC play. Surprise victory over Texas A&M, or Texas A&M that did just beat Kentucky. And then a win over Vanderbilt, which is not necessarily a just, you know what I'm saying, easy victory. I will say, I didn't know, for those of you who do watch watch TV, who watch like Apple TV, the TV show I told you about, Ant Swagger, about the Kevin Durant story. One of the kids on that team, from the TV show, plays for Vanderbilt.
Okay.
He's a freshman, number 23. I don't know his real name. I kept calling by his name on the show. Puerto Rican kid. He played for the Puerto Rican national team. In the show, he was trying to get on the Puerto Rican national team. But he played for the Puerto Rican national team, plays for Vanderbilt. excellent. Like that he can ball. He can ball. He hit a couple threes on us, played some great defense. But yeah, I was surprised by the 2-0 start. Felt like LSU was starting to turn the corner. And then they ran to the buzzsaw at Auburn.
I mean, that ain't no knock to LSU. Auburn in the top 15
Oh,
team
yeah.
in the country. Honestly, I was impressed by the way they fought back and made it a 9-point game at one point, and it was 28-point lead that they dwindled down to a single-digit lead for Auburn. So, I mean, if anything, you could say them guys fighting hard for McMahon. And I mean, it's hard to go in that arena at Auburn, and the way they've been playing there lately. I think they've only lost 2 games in the last 2 years or something like that at home.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, that ain't a place where they lose very often. So it was gonna be a tough task to go in there and win anyway. But LSU got down early. Auburn jumped out to a huge lead, and LSU just fought back in the second half without Jalen Cook on the floor, which would probably be the biggest surprise for me. Was the way they were able to come back and make it a game without him. So I think that's good confidence builder for the rest of those guys. And if you McMahon, you got to be. I know we hate the cliche good loss, but you got to be feeling pretty good after that loss. The way your guys fought back and showed a lot of heart.
Yeah, I can. I didn't get a chance to fully watch the game, but I will say what I was keeping up with while I was watching. Takeaways I had. I was impressed in the first half, like you said about them fighting back. It was plays like they. I'm trying to think of this way. They would get down and they would find a way to get back into the game, even in the first half. But I walked away and I came back and it was like it was a 2-point game. I was like, okay, they came back, and then I was watching and it quickly became an 8-point game. I said, well, let me go stop watching, because I knew I was like, maybe it's me. So I said, let me step away. But yeah, I was impressed by that. I still don't know how much I want to buy into this team yet.
I think they could be a middle of the road SEC team from what I've seen. What I ain't no knock to that. SEC a very good conference this year, but inconsistent. A lot of teams inconsistent. Like you look at A&M, if you look at Ole Miss, if you look at some of these teams, I think that LSU can compete with them on any given night if they bring their A game.
The reason why I think the men and the women both lost, of course, there's more to it, but they had one issue that was similar in both. They couldn't keep the ball, turnover after turnover after turnover. Let's pivot to the women real quick. They lost today.
Man, that shit was embarrassing. You can just go and say what it is.
They played. They were bad. They were very bad.
Angel Reese, I give Reese her props. Morrow played decent. But other than them two, everybody else didn't show up today. I know it's only her second SEC road game, but Michaela Williams wasn't the Michaela Williams we used to seeing today. Her shot wasn't falling. She got to be more aggressive when her shot isn't falling. Try to get to the free throw line or something. Haley Van Lith, non-existent out there pretty much. I think she had 3 points. She still seemed like she lost out there trying to find where she fits in with this team at. Flage gave you the normal defense, but she just didn't have her best night offensively. But I mean, whenever you shoot less than 70% from the free throw line, whenever you let I almost said Ole Miss. Whenever you let Auburn hang with you in the rebounding department, whenever you turn the ball over 20 times or whatever it was, you're not going to win games like that, bro. And we've been saying it over and over and over again. This team wasn't tested in the non-conference, so they haven't, like, the struggles that they've had in these non-conference games hasn't come back and bite them because they're not playing teams that are capable of beating them. So whenever you miss a whole bunch of free throws against the Southeastern Louisiana, or whenever you miss a whole bunch of free throws against, insert non-conference game here, you know what I mean? It don't come back to bite you. But whenever you miss free throws in an SEC game on the road, it comes back to bite you. When you turn the ball over that many times in a big SEC road game, it comes back to bite you. So I kind of blame the fact that they haven't been tested, but I also blame the fact that this team is good enough to where you shouldn't have these issues this late in the season.
All right. I know we talked, and I know you've kind of mentioned it, and you said thing, so I'm gonna put it out there. I've said it in chats, and I'm saying that Haley Van Lith should come off the bench. She should not be your starting point guard. She is not a point guard. She is a shooting guard with decent handles. Well, good handles. I give her. I'm not gonna say decent because decent people take that as a shot. The problem is we don't need another shooting guard. Last tier should be starting. She's gonna give you defense. She's gonna give you, facilitation. She's gonna give you what you need. Chance brings up another one. I don't know, but this might, he said he let Michaela run point.
Yep.
I can see that, and I can respect that.
Yep.
I just feel like Haley should not be running point. I also feel like, as good as Angel is, she should not be dribble driving to the hoop on your last second shot.
Kim Walk explained the reason why.
Tell me why.
The only person doing something in this game.
Oh, okay.
I mean, she felt like they had trouble getting the ball to Angel from the wing.
Well, clear the paint. You got two people in the paint.
Well, the play wasn't supposed to go that way. Nobody cut for Angel to make a pass, so Angel took the ball herself.
Gotcha.
It was a bad play design, honestly, but and Kim Mulkey took ownership of that. But I kind of see where Kim was coming from. You want the ball in Angel's hands. If they're not giving Angel the ball from the wing, then I'm gonna just let Angel take the ball down. You see what I'm saying? That way, I guarantee that Angel gets the ball. But it was a bad play call in the sense of you didn't give Angel the ball where she was able to do something with it. So, I mean, I would have liked to see the ball in 12's hands right there, and then let them two run a two-woman game. No, not trying to be, but let them run a two-person game together, and let Michaela to get a shot or dish it off to Angel if they switch or if they, if they hedge that screen too hard. So I didn't like the play call at the end, but I understood why she did it. She was just trying to get the ball in her best player hands, and because they couldn't give her the ball from the wing.
I got you. All right, that makes sense. I didn't like it, but it makes sense.
I mean, I didn't like. I feel like she should have called timeout and drew up a play. But
thank you. I think you. Yeah. But she gets paid the millions. It's your second loss. It's not going to keep you out of the tournament. Obviously,
affect your seeding. That's for sure.
Yeah. But we've seen LSU be a 3 seed right now. I think they've slated to be a 3 seed, or they were before today.
Because you're non-conference.
So, what are they gonna put them 4 or 5? I mean, anyway, that's what I feel. That's my thing. No offense to Haley. I think she's a good player. I just, again, like I said, should have been
the fit.
It's not a good fit. We should have got a actual point guard.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Somebody was saying that.
Interesting.
Somebody was saying that they were getting hammered. No, they had one timeout. Chance. They had one timeout because if you think about it, when Auburn got the ball after Angel foul, Kim called a timeout in between the free throws. So and drew up some. So they had one timeout. But yeah.
Oh boy. It's almost like people saw what I saw last year. They seeing now what I saw last year to make me say that I didn't want Haley Van Lith at LSU. Nothing against Haley, but that's not what LSU needed in the portal, and that's not what they needed for the team that they were building. They needed a point guard to replace Alexis. And
You want to
there
know?
were better options out there for fit wise.
It feel like there was It feels like this was almost like a marketing thing. Hey, we can have these top blah blah blah. You know, what I'm saying women.
Let me just ask you this. Let me just say this. Who is the last guard to wear blonde hair with pigtails that had a fiery attitude and could score the ball before Haley Van Lith?
Oh man, I don't know if she was the last, but Kim Mulkey. Yeah. She definitely see herself.
Mm-hmm. A lot of it. And I mean, I'm not knocking Haley at all. Like, she's a great player. She's just trying to do something that's not her fit right now, bro. Her fit is off ball where she can catch, take a couple dribbles, and score. You know what I'm saying? Or catch and shoot, whatever it is. Catch and attack. That's her game. Her game isn't facilitating. And she's trying to still play her game while being a facilitator, and it's not working.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. All right, man. Let's get ready to wrap this up. Hey, I do want to say to everybody out there, don't know where everyone is, but stay warm. It's getting cold in the south. Winter is coming, and it's about to be some snowstorms. I just got a notification. We about to catch snow here in Bama. So tonight. So make sure y'all stay warm. What you got before we get ready to get up out of here? Oh, score update. Detroit is up 24-20. It's the fourth quarter. 14:53 left in the fourth. Rams just got the ball back at the 10. So let's go Lions. Ooh, chance it's 24 in
defense got to tighten up here. Yeah, facts, Edwin. Big facts.
Yeah, just know. Yeah, people get stupid here when weather change. They get book wild. But what you got, Ant?
Nothing, man. About to go finish watching this game and try to get me some rest. Get ready for this weather.
Yeah. We got what is it? 3 games tomorrow or just 2? NFL.
Bucks and the Eagles and the Steelers and the Bills.
And then you got it's just 2. It's just 2.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. How do you? I know this is like the second year or maybe third year doing it. How do you feel about Wildcard Weekend extended to Monday?
It's cool. It should only be 1 game tomorrow. We already had that conversation.
Yeah,
but I'm cool with it. I mean, I'm off work anyway, so why not?
Yeah. Trying to think what else we NBA. You do got a lot of NBA tomorrow with MLK. MLK birthday.
How about them Pels?
Who they played the other night? Because they won me some money.
We beat the Warriors. We lost to the Nuggets. Then we beat the Mavs.
I think it was the Warriors. Y'all.
We beat the hell out of them.
Yeah, that was that won me some money. That was a parlay. So yeah. Trying to see what else. Oh. Trying to see. I'm looking on the. It's funny. I'm looking on the sideline for the round sideline. See if I see KJ. Let's see. Whoa. Hold on. I don't know. Willie Bolden said, "Can you believe LSU has picked up the top defensive players in LA and Louisiana in the last 3 years, where their moms went to the same high school together in Homer? How rare is that for a small city like Homer?" Ooh.
Interesting.
I'm trying to figure out who he's talking about. I have to. Willie, you have to hit us up. Tell who he's talking about. I don't know. I didn't know that. That is
Well, let's say any recruit news. Well, Don McKinley visiting, and some other guys are visiting this weekend, and then during the week, supposedly unofficial visit from 5-star wide receiver Ryan Williams. So it'll be interesting to see what LSU is in his recruitment.
I might have to see if I can pull some strings. Get get Jay Sean to hit him up. Say, what you thinking about, bro? What you thinking about? Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure that out. See if we can figure out. I still think that's an Auburn battle to lose.
I think it's Auburn too, but I just want to see what LSU factors in that.
Yeah, I do. This dude here is Puka.
Oh yeah, he killing.
That dude. Chance says, "Bussy, what the odds?" I think we got a decent chance. I don't know. It depends on who we get, though. As far
I don't think it's good right now. I think the fact we ain't hired a DB coach plays a factor in that. He's still committed to A&M, like Wallace said. But I think if you would have had a hire made already, the way you could be putting in some work with him, I think that would make a difference.
Chance asks, "What's up with Auburn coaching staff? Cadillac gone." Yeah, it's nothing to really read into that. Some of the guys, I was gonna say some of the guys who like Cadillac and a few others, they were kind of forced upon Hugh Freeze.
Yeah,
to keep, so it's nothing there. So
if I'm Kalen DeBoer, I hire Cadillac. I know he kept Alabama's running back coach, but I found a spot on my staff somewhere for Cadillac.
Yeah, he brought his OC with him too.
He brought his OC with him. He brought his offensive line coach with him, and he brought the wide receivers coach with him. And he kept the defensive line coach Freddie Roach, and he kept the running backs coach. But I would have found a way for Cadillac to be on my staff.
Yeah. Craig said he a hornet, and Edwin called him a honeybee. Oh man. Yes, Chuck says Etheridge is heading to the University of Houston. Hey, you know what that is. Go Cougs, baby. Let's go.
Oh, that's Auburn.
Yeah, they DB coach. Yeah,
and because they hired Charles Kelly as their DC, former Colorado defensive coordinator.
I'm gonna ask you a question, and we can end on it. Somebody asked BJ, our good friend BJ Jones, asked this question, and I've been wondering this too. If Ed Reed is such good friends.
Oh yeah, I've been saying the same thing. I've been saying the same thing.
Why he ain't in Colorado on the coaching staff getting that experience?
He trying to bring Warren Sapp on, but he ain't trying to bring Ed Reed on. That should tell you something. That should tell you something.
Yeah. Chuck, you funny. You funny, Chuck. Chuck, you funny.
Oh man.
Oh man. Ooh, is that Edmonton? He said
Yeah.
-6 and Ed. Good Lord.
Man, you keep that up there, my boy.
Yes, sir. he said he's Edward said baby Ed told him he only wants to be a head coach. Hey, this Detroit defense is about to
choke.
Yes. Like a Popeye's biscuit. Mm-mm.
Yeah, it ain't looking good for the home team.
I mean, it's a lot of time left. They just gotta.
Yeah, I'm just talking about this defense. They
it's
Puka slicing them up right now.
Mm-hmm. And it's funny. Did he just strip the ball? Did they blow it dead? Did he just strip the ball from him?
I think they're gonna call it dead.
They're gonna call him down, but he literally stripped the ball from him.
Yeah, I kind of knew this was coming, man. I took the Rams in 3 points.
I didn't. What did I take?
It don't matter because the Cowboys messed my whole parlay up, but
I took Detroit -3.
Wallace said, "Good show, guys. What's the show time? Monday and Thursdays, man, 8:00."
Mostly.
I said Monday and Thursday. Lord, I'm tripping.
Monday and Wednesday.
Sunday
and Wednesday. You think you know what? I'm out here tripping. I'm with you. Lord have mercy.
Oh man, tripping, bro. Let's start that whole thing over. He said, "What's the show time?"
Oh, now I'll tell you this, Wallace. Go to YouTube and hit the bell because we also do HBCU we do HBCU hour on Mondays and Thursdays, so that's where the confusion came in. Or I say the what you call it. No, Thursday is the HBCU. It's Mondays and Sundays and Wednesdays.
I don't get it.
For you got me all over here tongue tied. Sundays and Wednesdays for Golden Boot, and then Mondays and Thursdays. But hey, we're gonna try this again. I think it's gonna hit this time. Jordan Toes will be on the show tomorrow night. Former LSU Tiger, I guess you can say former Morgan State Bear, finalist for the Aeneas Williams Award. Chance say worst promo ever. You're absolutely right.
Big facts.
Yes. You know the funny thing about it, Chance, we sober. Sober.
That's probably the problem right there.
Yeah, that's the problem. It's cold outside. Let me get some.
Maybe. I got some over there waiting on me to finish.
I got some in the freezer. Something good.
As soon as you hit the end stream button, it's over with.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Let's go ahead and get up out of here, man. Hey, we appreciate everybody for tuning in. We will be back on. Well, I think we should be back on Wednesday. We may have some news by then. What's up? We finna get ready to get off. You want to tell everybody bye?
Bye.
Okay, what's wrong?
I wanted to join.
Oh, tell them to stay warm. Come tell them to stay warm and like and subscribe.
Go outside and like and subscribe.
Boy, get out of here. Go. What? I said tell them to stay warm.
Yeah, you fine. Stay warm and also go out.
Get out of here.
You kid.
Why are you telling people to go outside?
Because he wanna go outside and play in the snow. Ain't even snow yet. He already planning on going outside playing in the snow. He said we talking like we in the ghost station. About that.
I could do Sundays and Thursdays. What about you?
Yeah. Let me tell you about it. You know what I'm saying? I'll be here. You know what I'm saying? Oh, 4th and 8. Let's see if they can. Let's see what they're gonna do. You gotta kick a field goal. You gotta kick a field goal here.
Got to.
No, you don't.
Yes, you do. Get you go. Oh, I got my revenge too, Ant. I got my revenge. Man, listen. You might want to cover your ears for this.
No.
Listen, and I'm talking about I was picking everything he tried to. I thought give me that interception.
No mercy. That's what I'm talking about.
No, no mercy. And it was the score was 35-0, and I kicked the ball back to him at the end to give him a chance. I was finna score again. I was going. He was like, Daddy, stop. I said, no, you gonna get it. I owe you this.
Sometimes you just gotta let them know, bro.
Yeah, I just I'd be trying to teach them the game, but I would teach them. It's funny because I was just mad to teach them about coverages. I was like, you keep looking at this one guy. I said, but I'm in a cover 2. You need to be looking in this area, this area, this area. So he also will be playing with Jalen Hurts. That's why I be.
Well, that's why he can't throw.
That's why he can't. It will say.
Can I say something?
No, leave my microphone alone. Go. What you want to say?
Jalen Hurts fumbles for everything.
Yeah, he do. He told me. He said that's why I had to throw it. As soon as he hit that sideline, I hit him. Fumble.
Bro,
he be getting mad. He like, man, Jalen Hurts always fumbling.
If one person hits him so soft, if one person hits him in the person's pillow, he'll still fumble it.
He said he get hit with a pillow. He gonna fumble. But that's why the game is realistic. All right.
What? Oh, I don't get it.
Nah, you will get older. Built by Bama. Anyway, I want to get up out of here. Finish watching this game. Can you watch something on the TV? No, you can watch. Where your phone? Go get your phone and watch.
I don't know where my phone is.
Go find it.
Excuse me.
I'll think about it. All right, man, let's get up out of here because this boy got talking about negotiations. Like that, we out. See y'all later on.
This show was presented by betonline.ag. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe on Twitter at Golden Boot. On Instagram at Golden Boot. On YouTube at The Golden Boot Pod. On Facebook at The Golden Boot Pod.
Golden Boot!